Yo, it's your boy Six and welcome back to yet another card magic tutorial. Today we are continuing our journey from the last video. We looked at Al Leech's Super Card Man stuff and then the 4-Ace effect from that booklet. And now we're continuing with another 4-Ace effect from that booklet. And I think these two routines kind of go nicely together. I actually happen to be a fan of this one because it reminds me of an effect that I put out on this channel known as the invisible card. It was one of my first videos when I started doing tutorials. And it's a really clever principle. Make sure you go watch that other video because that's a great routine in and of itself. It's also applied here, so you can use the same concept. Maybe instead of using a pick a card, in this case you're doing it with the 4 aces. Really simple stuff. Really quick tutorial for you today. So let's go ahead and get into this. I'm going to give you a heads up. The next video after this video is good. But the next video, oh, it's gonna be a self-working miracle that I promise you are gonna do all the time. One of my favorite self-working effects. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Hit that subscribe button if you're new here, and let's take a look at the performance. All right, so where this routine continues where we left off previously, we have 4 aces that were already in use. And I also added today a little greenery for you, a little color, a little life, a little fossiness, if you will, to the table. But let's get back to these aces here. We got the 4 aces, and here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna lose those aces somewhere in the pack. Now, last time I did a couple of cuts like this, and the cards were lost and we had to find the aces, and I was able to cut to the aces. But this time we're gonna do a little bit different, right? Here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna take these 4 aces, I'm gonna place them on top of the pack just like this, and I'm gonna give, again, a couple of cuts. But the game now changes, right? As opposed to me finding the aces, I want you to try to find the aces. And I'll make a little heart, I'll throw in a little mix like this. I'm not gonna tell you where the aces are, but I'll cut 2 packets like this. And now you have to guess. Do you think the aces are in this packet or the aces are in this packet? Let's say the spectator chooses this packet, and we'll go through and I will show you that actually they were wrong. Sorry, there are no aces in this packet. However, maybe you would have thought it was on the other side. Well, I'm a little sneaky. I cheated because again, there are no aces on this packet either. I'm sneaky. What I actually did was I took the aces and made them invisible, and I left them on the table. You don't see them here, but if I take them, turn them face up, I'll stick them back inside, and just like that, we can get those 4 aces to reappear just when we need them in the nick of time. And there you have it, a way to vanish and reappear the 4 aces. All right, let's go ahead and talk about how to do this. It's pretty straightforward. So what you do is you get the 4 aces just like we have here, and a deck of cards. So this literally picks up from the previous routine. Now what's gonna happen is you're gonna get a break under the top 3 cards of the pack. So I need to get a break under these top 3 cards, just like we have here. I have my pinky break. We've talked about this before. I've linked you to videos. You get a break under the top 3 cards, and now you're set to go. I'm now going to do what's called the Browari Reversal from Fred Browari. Again, I've taught this previously, but it's very similar to the Double Undercut. The motions are the same. I'm going to get a break under those top 3 cards, and then my thumb is going to be at the back, and my fingers here are going to be at the front, and now my break is going to look like this, right? It's going to be transferred to a thumb break, and my fingers at the front covering any edges, but now I have this. I'm going to take about half from the bottom, just like I was doing the double undercut as we did in the previous video. Flip those face up, and I'm going to align those on top of the cards on my break. So now those are going underneath the cards on top. I take the rest of the cards from underneath the break, again, just like we did with the double undercut, but except all the difference now is that I'm flipping these cards face up. So this packet comes face up, just like that. And all I did is reverse the cards, but I left 3 cards now flipped over on the bottom. And those are the 3 cards that I had a break on from the top. So once again, I have a break just like this. Transfer the thumb, fingers at the front. I'm gonna cut about half, flip it face up. That's gonna go directly on top of those 3 cards. I take the rest of the cards underneath those 3, place those face up, and now I have the deck of cards face up with 3 cards at the bottom reversed. Obviously, you do not tell anybody this. This is the secret magic stuffs. Okay, so I have the 3 cards here at the bottom like this. These cards face up, and now I'm gonna get the 4 aces. I'm gonna place them on top. Now this is one thing that I added to this routine in the original. You just simply place these 4 aces on top. You get a break underneath them, and then you do a double undercut like we've done before, bringing these cards to the back. So just like we learned in the last video, I got a double undercut, get a break, and I'm going to take those and bring those aces to the back. That's all that does. However, what I dislike about it is that if you look at this card here, and this is the problem with doing a double undercut face up to transfer cards, is that the 4 aces are here, and I say I'm going to cut those into the pack. I'm ending back up with the 7 of diamonds again at the face, and I think a very, very good spectator who's paying a lot of attention will notice that. So here's what I do to circumvent that. As I pick up these cards, I now get a break under the 7 of diamonds, which is the first face-up card. I show these 4 aces, and now I square them all up, and now I have a break with 5 cards. Okay, so now my break is here, and what I'm going to do for this break is again transfer it to my thumb, fingers at the front, and now instead of doing the Browari Reversal, I'm going to do the double undercut. So I cut about half the cards, bring those to the face, cover that on top. Again, grab all the cards underneath the break and bring that to the face. And now we're set to go. And you've noticed this card changed, right? So now it does look like you did something to the cards. Very, very important. So that's why I add that extra card. However, because I added an extra card, I now have the 3 face down cards, the 4 aces behind them, and then a random 7 of diamonds. So to get rid of that random 7 of diamonds, I am going to do a overhand shuffle with a milk shuffle. We've covered this in a previous video. My fingers are going to squeeze at the back. I'm going to grab this here, grab a packet from the front, and as I do, these fingers are going to grab that top card and pull it with it into the packet in my left hand. So just for the above view here, these fingers are going to press, pull down that one card, pull it out. As I grab a block from here, I can toss a few single cards, take this packet in my right hand and drop it back to the back. Well, all that does is that removes that top card, loses it somewhere in the pack, and now I'm set up with the 4 aces on top, followed by 3 reverse cards, and this is what's gonna make the routine work. So you could put about half the cards on the table, you leave them from the bottom. So if you want to do a swing cut, you can do a swing cut. That's one way to do it. Or you could just simply place the cards on the table, say I'm going to give you a chance to guess, pick up the top half and hold on to it and say, do you think it's in this packet or do you think it's in this packet? And have the spectators guess. No matter what packet they say, you're going to pick up the one on the table. So you say, okay, this packet, well, let's take a look over here. If they pick this packet, then you simply turn them face up, just like this. And I'm going to leave it flush on the top. Now I'm going to spread through and I'm going to show, I want you to see that actually there were no aces here. And now I spread through, I can go past a couple of face down cards. You can just stop here if you want. Now you're gonna bring all these cards together, square them up, flip the deck over, and do the same thing. Spread through and show, you see again, there are no aces. Again, you can push off 1 or 2 cards, but you don't wanna go so far to reveal those aces underneath. So you just push off 1 or 2 cards as you talk, and you say, you see it's not here either. You take the cards in the right hand, you're going to flip those face down on top of the cards in your left hand. Once you've done that, the trick is essentially over. You can say, well, I tricked you. See, I never put the aces back in the pack. I left them over here, face up on the table. You take these cards, show, pretend like there's 4 aces here. Say, look, if I turn them face up, stick them back inside the pack, snap my fingers, now they reappear. You spread the cards to show the 4 aces have now reappeared back inside of the pack. A really cool way to vanish and reappear the 4 aces, much like we've done in the invisible card routine that I taught you previously with a single playing card. This does it with the 4 aces, same kind of concept. A little bit different, but just maybe a little bit simpler actually, but it's still a really cool way to vanish and reappear the 4 aces. And as always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next episode.